Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on Fox16.com and KARK.com, as well as our Facebook pages. I'm Ashlei King, joined by my co-host, Robert Holt. It's good to see you, Robert.
Oh, it's good to be alive, Ashley. I'm telling you, COVID is no fun.
Yeah, so you've been away for the last, I think, like 2 shows that we did. You had COVID, so you were battling that, and I'm glad to see you're doing better now.
Yeah. 27 days I was down with it, and I'm just thanking God that I'm still alive. There was one day that my wife, we were kind of concerned, but you know what? You can't get rid of this old dude. I even grew a little growth.
I know, I see that. You're stubborn, so COVID had nothing on you, right?
That's exactly right. And of course, we got to go on a trip. We went to the Tetons and Yellowstone, and so I was grateful that I was able to do that as well. So
yeah,
I'm pretty excited. Yeah,
those are good trips right now too, because you could be out in the nature. You can stay away from people.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
fresh air. I mean, no humidity, 70 degrees during the day. Are you jealous yet?
Yeah, a little bit. All right, so last time I think we were talking about hate, and we wanted to kind of have a series focusing on hate.
Right.
And so that's, yeah.
I tell you, I want to share this with you. That was a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, it was during a tragedy. But the young lady Petito.
Yes. Yeah. Gabby Petito.
Okay, so I was standing in the kitchen of our cabin, and she was found 10 miles away from us.
Oh, wow.
So the day she was found, the FBI I was watching it on Facebook, and they said they'd found her. And right after that, I looked out our kitchen window, it just got through raining, and Ashley, there was a beautiful rainbow that was right over where they had found her.
Wow.
It was it was so surreal.
I'm sure.
And we don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. We sure do pray for that family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Tragedy. But yeah, we're talking about hate.
Yeah.
And a lot of it.
There is a lot of it, and we have a special guest. I'm going to let you introduce our guests.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so excited to be able to introduce to you guys pastor, bishop, doctor, best friend, brother, Stephen Christian. And he is pastor at Bountiful Blessings, but he is also co-founder with me of Love, Let Our Violence In way back in 1994. And I had the privilege of learning from him how to get in front of people. Actually, that's how I'm able to do this. I mean, he gave me taught me. He gave me the courage and everything to be able to do these kinds of things, and God used him in that way, and so he's been my brother for a long time. And as a matter of fact, you can see we are. I mean,
I know y'all are matching.
Yeah, we're matching today, and I'm almost matching him right now.
A few more years, and you might be. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Victory over violence.
Yes, definitely. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And the answer is love.
Yes. So, all right. So let's, I guess, just first by starting off by just telling people a little bit about yourself and why victory over violence is so important to you.
Well, I might start and say that I grew up in a somewhat sometimes what you might call a violent neighborhood. There were killings, and there was violence and hurt and pain and poverty and different struggles. And I believe that my life is a testimony of victory over violence, victory over hate, and the answer was love. I'm a pastor and father, a husband of one wife, and pastor, a father of 3 beautiful girls, grown daughters. And so to use a hymn, to quote a hymn that explains my life would be, love lifted me. Love lifted me. And certainly I do mean first and foremost the love of Jesus Christ and the love of his people. lifted me up over poverty, violence, negativity, all of that. Love lifted me over that, over violence, over hate. And I believe, I'm a firm believer that love can do the same for every single human being.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, Ashlei, I will never forget. Stephen and I, in front of a couple thousand students at Central High School, and we did not go in to preach or anything like that. But you know, we hoped that our life would. But all we spoke about was love. And there's, you know, if you're in front of 2,000 kids, you know, you're going to have some rowdy stuff. But all of a sudden, it got quiet in this place because they were hearing a real message of love and a real message of hope. And after the thing was over, we had students and teachers and everybody coming up to us and saying, wow, this is exactly what I could. And then this is back in the 90s, you know, when all the gang stuff was going on. But this is exactly what we're needed because people are hungry for love.
What do you guys mean when y'all say love?
Actually, I believe that love is a verb, it's an action word, and the essence of love is always expressed in goodness towards other people. Okay. So when we say love, we mean love in all of its totality. It is an expression of goodness that benefits other people. Now, there is a such thing called tough love, but it's always, love will always be benefiting someone else. Okay. It will express itself in some kind of goodness, helpfulness towards other people. And I kind of received this this thought, little epiphany, if you will. Love is spelled L-O-V-E. If you turn that around, if you reverse that, it's E-V-O-L, evil. Evil. So love is the opposite of evil. Love does no harm to its neighbor, to anyone. Love always expresses itself in some kind of beneficial way towards other people.
Yeah.
Love is giving of myself for the good of someone else.
That's it.
How do you get people, though, to, I guess, understand that? Because a lot of people, I think, with like a lot of the violence and all of this, a lot of people are angry. And their anger causes them to, I would say, act out and cause some of that violence. So how do you get to the heart of those people?
I believe we need to find out what people are angry about. Sometimes I believe people may have what we call perceived offenses. Sometimes their hurt and their anger is certainly valid, and there are root causes of that. But I believe we need to find out what is the cause of this anger and offer people other opportunities or other alternatives to express their anger. You can express anger without hurting people. You can express anger without in different ways. And so that's what I believe we need to do is get to the root cause. And we would love to do it on a macro scale where we could just love everybody and wipe out all of the anger, the hurt, and the pain.
Yeah.
But it's not going to work like that. It's going to have to be on a micro level, person to person, individual to individual. We're going to have to find out what is the root cause of these or this particular person's anger, and address that anger in a loving manner, and help them and possibly provide them with some alternatives in terms of how to address and express their anger.
Yeah.
We can be angry, but we don't need to offend or hurt just because we're angry.
Stephen, let me just share something with Ashlei here. Ashlei, again, he and I've traveled. We've traveled together a long time. I'll never forget. He and I went to I'm not going to tell the department store. We went to a major department store one time, and I went up to the counter, the cologne, the men's cologne counter. All right, I'm sitting here looking at you on TV and not looking at my camera. So we went to this cologne counter. I went up first and I said, "Hey, can I get some samples of some cologne to try?" "Oh yeah, sure. Here you go." Well, Stephen went right up after me, okay? Now, listen, I'm about to get into something that we need to have 3 or 4 shows on, okay? But he went up to the counter and said, "Can I have some samples?" They didn't give him any.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I know. And really, I mean, because he and I had such an incredible relationship as far as brothers, I can sort of understand, but I can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
For me to see, so when he's talking about communication and talking, we've really got to have people come together, not just a town hall meeting, we've got to have people come together and talk about our feelings.
We're going to have to be, we're going to have to personally and collectively bring love back to our neighborhoods, back to our, and some people may say bringing it for the first time. So I may not have to say, may not be able to use that word back, but we're going to have to bring love to our communities, to our homes, to our churches, to our businesses, always looking out for the good of other people. That's what love does. And Ashlei, we're going to have to there's going to have to be a greater presence of love through people, just everyday people.
Yep.
There's going to have to be a greater presence of love shown to people in our neighborhoods, in our communities. We've got to actually become a greater presence. I'm sure Robert would say this probably even more harshly than I would say it, and that is that the churches must be a more visible, greater presence in the neighborhoods, not just in the business, in their buildings, but in their neighborhoods. We've got to let our communities know we are here for the people in our community, to meet the needs of the people of our community, to show them that love, to turn that word, that evil, E-V-O-L, turn that evil around and show love in practical ways. We've just got to do it.
Yeah, we're on our streaming live right now on our Fox 16 Facebook page and our KARK Facebook page, and I'm reading some of the comments here, and someone did say that about, we got to reevaluate our relationship with God and then put Christ back into being a Christian. So
yes.
it is.
Yes. By all means.
I just, Ashlei, I know, you and I have had, several conversations but this conversation of, especially when it comes to, racism, those types of things, it's important that we begin these conversations. Nobody is talking about it. When a child came to me and he showed me way back, he said he put a quarter, a nickel, and a dime and a penny down. All of the silver was facing this way. Lincoln was facing this way. And you know what he told me? He said it's because they disrespected Lincoln because he freed the slaves. Now, it was actually the artist, but he was taught that. Now, again, we can't get into all of this, but I'm telling you, there are underlying root currents that nobody is discussing and nobody is talking about, that we've got to have those discussions, and sometimes agree to disagree, but always say we're going to love each other when we get away from this table.
Yeah, agree to disagree. That is very important, especially in the social media age we live in. I've seen a lot of people fighting, on Facebook about things. I want to talk a little bit about y'all's relationship. So, just looking at you two, clearly, you look different. Did you guys come from different backgrounds? That may be me assuming that.
Absolutely.
Okay, but you guys are able to be friends and be really good friends. So how are you guys able to overcome some of those differences when you have those conversations?
We've talked about hard stuff. I mean, literally, we've talked about, he and I just, when God kind of brought us back again, I sat down with it because I was hurting. I saw so many people that were on there talking about this racism thing that's going on right now. And it was hurting me. And I said to him, I said, brother, we got to do something about this. And I started talking to him about Black Lives Matter. I started talking to him about all those things. And, and he began explaining lovingly to me some of the things that I have yet to understand. I might not be in agreement with it all, but I'm beginning to understand. And that's how he and I don't see him as my black brother. Honest to God, he's my real brother. He's the closest thing that I have to a real brother. And he just happens to be a little darker and I'm a little lighter.
And I'm cuter. But Ashlei, as he said, we talk about it. We talk about the anger and the misunderstanding that people of color may feel that Robert has. But the thing is, we have to talk about it, and we have to understand that really, in terms of humans, we're on the same side. So I will say this, the main common bond, though Robert and I have some differences, our common bond is the love of Jesus Christ and the love of people. And you cannot actually say you love Jesus, you are a Christian, and hate anybody or willingly misuse or hurt anybody. You cannot claim that you are operating in the love of Christ, in the love of God, and hate or hurt or harass anybody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Robert and I are no longer, we're not pointing fingers at each other. We're pointing the finger at ourselves. And we're asking each individual, look at yourself, take an evaluation of your heart, your mind, and all of that. And if you see you're acting in any kind of way other than a loving, kind, helpful, beneficial way towards anyone, stop it. Plain and simple, stop it.
Yeah.
Do we all have feelings of prejudice? Yes. We all prejudge other people. We all have biases. So we accept, I have prejudices, I have biases, but I will not let those prejudices or those biases control or direct my actions.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, we are all one people, one human race. We are brothers. If we say we believe in the Bible, it all started with one man and one woman, Adam and Eve. And if you go on to Noah, it still started with one man and his 3 sons. Any way you look at it, we are one human race, and we must love one another. And we do have more in common than we have differences.
You know, I want to ask Ashlei. Ashlei, bring your beautiful self back on here. Okay. So, you know, you're always asking questions, but I'm going to ask you one.
Okay.
This is a talk show. This is to help other people. So here's my first question. It's kind of, you know, a simple question, but is God still on the throne?
Is he still on the throne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Yeah, he is. Okay. So yes, he is. I believe one of the issues is that we forget who is on the throne. That we
put ourselves up there.
Yeah, ourselves. We count more on the government. We count more on all those things, and we forget who really is in charge. I mean, that's where our focus needs to be. There are a lot of people right now that are turning away from God because there's so many of, quote, us Christians out there that are not pointing people to him. They're pointing people to government. They're pointing people to all these other things instead of the one who created it all. And so there really is, quote, a higher power out there. There really is a super creator that can do and teach us how to love one another and take away a lot of the frustrations that we feel. Because I know I know myself, during some of those times last year, there was a lot of frustration.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And and that higher power, that God will express himself through us to other people. And as I say, and Robert and I are working on some things, some opportunities, some events to try to launch the presence of love in our communities.
Yeah.
Beginning with the children, but going up to no matter how old you are, no matter what color you are, love meets you where you are and meets your needs.
It's funny you say beginning with the children, because I think back, you know, I've been a reporter for many years now, and I think back, I think it was after the Sandy Hook school shooting. I was in Oklahoma at the time, and I went to a school to, you know, do a story about safety and security and all of that. And I remember being out on the playground and looking at all the kids playing. They didn't care who, you know, the next kid was. They just wanted to play. They didn't care what they looked like. They didn't care where they came from, where they lived after they left school. They just all wanted to play. So it's just interesting. It really does. You really do have to start with the children. And
so did you?
I hate to be a preacher.
Wait, hold on, preacher. Hold on, preacher. So, Ashlei, did you just feel that? When you were saying that, did you just feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Stephen and I and you and others are trying to get across in the community. Everybody wants is, I'm getting so many emails right now about, please bring love back. Please bring love. Well, I'm telling you, it's coming back. And we're going to, Steve didn't say it, but I can, because I found out it's okay. But the Saturday before Thanksgiving, Love Alive is going to be happening at the Whetstone Boys and Girls Club baseball field, and that's going to be the beginning of Victory Over Violence, the signs, signing up ambassadors and all that kind of thing. We've got all that approved already, so we're all going to be coming together and planning this first event to start this message of love.
Yeah.
First Saturday before Thanksgiving.
It's a launching of Love Alive.
Yeah.
Simply bringing awareness to a community. We'll start with one particular community and then spread abroad to different communities. But our desire is to bring awareness to our communities that love is alive.
Yeah.
Robert used a different term. Who's on the throne? God is on the throne. Another way of saying that is love is alive.
Yeah.
And you're going to see it through us, and we're going to pass it along to our children. Robert, did you say where we're going to begin? At the Whetstone?
Yeah, Whetstone. And, you know, if there's victory with love, all those signs, the victory over violence, it's all a part of it. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. But, you know.
Whetstone Boys Club, is it Boys and Girls Club?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's called Dalton.
Whetstone.
Yeah.
Dalton Whetstone Boys and Girls Club in the Wakefield area. For those who may not know that, may be listening, we're launching Love Alive.
And this is the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
The
Saturday.
Saturday before
I'll get
Thanksgiving, which is
Okay.
the 20th.
Yeah, I'll get it all to you.
Okay. All right.
It is the 20th of November the 20th.
Okay. Yeah, well, we will definitely be promoting that for sure and hope everyone can make it out there. So we're coming short on time, so I want to give you guys, do you have any final words of encouragement that you want to give?
It only takes a ripple of love to create a great wave of compassion.
That's a good one.
Say it again, Rob.
It only takes a ripple of love to create
A ripple of love.
A ripple of love.
That's a
To
good one.
create a
wave of compassion.
Of compassion.
That's a good one.
So we're those ripples, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
And we're about to create a wonderful wave. And with all our hearts, all our faith, everything within us, we're praying and for a great difference in our neighborhood,
Yep.
in our communities.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I believe it will happen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Love is alive.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate you sharing a message with us today.
Thank you.
All right.
Love to you all
Yes.
and to all of your viewers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brother. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
Robert.
you all.
Ashley, it's good to see you.
You too. I'm glad you're doing better.
Awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to share with you.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm glad you're doing better, though. We're glad to see you on the other side.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for joining us. And remember, there is a victory with love. Take care.
Yep.